As you all know, that is one of the big themes I'm really looking forward to. Absolutely. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me make a a few little modifications here real quick. There. That pleases me. I am now pleased. Alright, usual suspects. Roll call, how we doing? Nelson, what's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Throw the likes up there. Let's hit it. Let everybody know I'm live. That's how YouTube lets everybody know I'm live. That's an easy, cheap, effective way to help your brother out. So, Vitaly, Chris Smith, Jordan Martini. Let's go indeed. How we doing? How's my volume, by the way? My volume doing good? What's up, Wolf Tails? How you doing? Skystep Blue, Little Ray, Luis Gonzalez, Ben Johnson. How we doing? How's everybody doing tonight? What a weekend it was. It was a crazy weekend, right? I'm still trying to figure out this new setup. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here we go. It was a crazy weekend. I'm not gonna lie. Bored to tears watching Monday Night Raw. This is a lot better. Raw's not been good for like what, 20, 25 years, something like that. So I stopped watching WWE a long time ago. Although LA Knight is moving the needle, so have to wait and see what happens with that guy. So, but it was a crazy weekend. There was all kinds of things dropping, videos popping off left and right, different, you know, the 30-minute video we went over last night, the 40 to 45 minutes of footage from Friday night, the demos that got leaked. I mean, not leaked, but the embargo was lifted on people talking about the demos. It was absolutely insane. So I wanted to come on tonight, kind of discuss a little bit of all that. My chair sucks, by the way. It just went down like crazy. So here, hang on a second. Like, there we go. So I need a new chair. The air compressor has gone out of my chair. So that music is from the Temple of the Ancients. It's called Forested Temple, and it is like, it's one of the areas and one of the themes I'm looking forward to the most in Rebirth. I'm so excited. I think that's going to be a really trippy, really wild and crazy part of the game, and I expect nothing less the way this team is showing things off. And make no mistake, everything they did, like all that this weekend, that was a big show-off session. Martin Grimes with the $5. Appreciate you, brother. Greetings and good to hear your insights on FF7 Rebirth. Appreciate you, man. I'm here to serve. That's what I say all the time. I am here to serve. So I think my theory videos, along with the theory videos of other amazing YouTube creators and content creators out there, really helped kind of pass the time between remake and where we're at now. And now it's time to get excited. Now it's time to get really excited. Cue the Berserk. Cue the Berserk, baby. I appreciate you, Martin. Yeah. So I think what we were looking at this past weekend with all of the stuff coming out from Square Enix and them, look, that open world, first off, you know, and we talk about all the little things, all the little details, of course, on this channel. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more because I feel like that was loud on this end. There we go. There were a lot of things that came out of the English trailer, and one of the things was proto-relics. Proto-relics. I thought that was really interesting. That could be any number of things. Since we won't get to play as Sid in Rebirth, I hope at least get to hear his theme. Yes, we will experience Sid in Rebirth. I believe we will definitely get the Tiny Bronco. We can't do that without Sid. He'll be our pilot in Rebirth. He might even join in some battles. I think when Shinra attacks Rocket Town, or comes to Rocket Town for the Tiny Bronco, or however they're going to spin that, I think he will join the party and fight there, and then you escape on the Tiny Bronco. I think that's going to happen. He might even tag in for some different battles here and there. But yeah, I don't think we'll see a lot of Sid as a guest combatant or a guest party member in Rebirth. Like we'll see Vincent. Vincent's going to be a big part of the guest party action in Rebirth. And that's what I'm really excited about. I think there's a chance that together both Remake and Rebirth would count as one, the greatest game of all time. Well, yeah, I mean, Final Fantasy VII is already the greatest story ever told in a video game. Bar none, hands down, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate. So the fact that they are expounding upon it even more with all the different levels of creativity they're showing. Hamaguchi. Shout out to Hamaguchi. Round of applause to Hamaguchi. That guy brought it. He was like, yeah, I directed this. Roll the tape. I directed this. Roll the tape. Man, that was a flex session. Hamaguchi showing off the skills. But anyway, yeah. Remake, Rebirth, Refund. I'm not one of these haters. I just thought that was hilarious when somebody said the third game's going to be called Refund. When it's all said and done, this is probably going to be the greatest gaming experience of all time. So, just what they showed us with the open world and all the little icons. Now that we got the English version, we don't have to speculate about what that stuff was. We know. And yeah, I made a bad prediction, bad call on the ocean. Apparently, that's just like an orbit icon or whatever. So it's whatever. But yeah, I appreciate you all paying attention to everything that I say. That's pretty cool. Some people on Twitter today were like, I don't think that's a ocean thing there. I think that's just going to be like an orbit icon for the planet or something like that. I was like, good catch. Good catch. So I really appreciate you all listening and checking out my stuff and really just kind of hanging on like everything that I say. That's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. What do you think Square's future is in 2024 outside of Rebirth? More Final Fantasy 14 stuff. DJ Renaissance, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you, of course. More Final Fantasy 14. I think we're gonna get. I think they're really going to go hard on trying to develop more AAA titles. The new president, I think, has said that he wants to take a bunch of their IPs and really develop them as AAA properties, which I think is great. Dude, this is going to be like the fifth maid they've had come in and try and clean house. Chrono Trigger. Pull the Chrono Trigger. Do it. Just make it. 2024, I pray to God we see Chrono Trigger. I think we'll start hearing about Final Fantasy IX Remake. I think we'll start hearing about the Final Fantasy Tactics HD remaster or remake. I would love for it to be a remake, but honestly, that game's fine as it is. Just give me a really sweet pixel remaster of that game. Not like the SNES Final Fantasy pixel remasters they did, but like not even like an Octopath Traveler, because Octopath Traveler is cool, but they do this weird blur effect with some of their stuff that I'm not too keen on. Just make it look like Sea of Stars. Just redo Chrono Trigger and make it like Sea of Stars. And have a nice day. And just watch all the sales come in. You're welcome. You're welcome, Square Enix. You can have that one for free. You can have that idea for free. Chrono Trigger is amazing, Skyset Blue. Chrono Trigger really helped me develop my early sensibilities for storytelling and writing and characters in a story. It was my favorite game of all time until I played Final Fantasy VII. Of course, I was only 14 or 15, you know, but still. But yeah, everything they showed this weekend, look, I hope you all realize that's the tip of the iceberg. Hope you all aren't some of these people that are thinking that they just showed everything they had to show, or over half of what they had to show, and they showed too much. Tip of the iceberg. There are areas in the game we know nothing about. There are abilities and things they're going to do that we know nothing about. It's going to be wild. And one of the things I really want to talk about was the exploration. I think there are going to be more elements to the exploration that we don't know anything about. We know about the Rimwave Towers. We know about Chadley. We know about different things you're going to unlock, materias, and like different areas in the Chadley's Fighting Simulator. All these things you can unlock doing all that stuff. But the really crazy thing is we've probably seen about 20% of what they have to offer for exploration. We don't know how unlocking dungeons are going to work. Look, my Knights of the Round theory is still on the table. What do I say about all theories, right? They're on the table until they're not, right? Who remembers my Knights of the Round theory? Professor Ray is quizzing the class. Who remembers my Knights of the Round theory, right? My Knights of the Round theory, I guess that's fine right there. My Knights of the Round theory is you find these different caves. They're almost like a different shrine to one of the 13 knights that are in the Knights of the Round. You go through the trials, and yes, it's like the King's Tombs in Final Fantasy 15, but forget about that. Follow me. Ride with me for a minute. It's like the King's Tombs in Final Fantasy 15, except there's more to do. There's more puzzles, there's stuff to do, there's enemies to battle, there's a boss battle at the end of each cave. And in the end, you have like an empty piece of materia. And a little bit of the materia gets filled, like the power of the materia. And you go until finally the last cave you get to is the Knights of the Round cave. And that's where you get Arthur's portion of the Knights of the Round. And then you use that for a clean sweep on Genova by the end of the game if you so choose to do that side quest. I think it's still on the table. I hope it is. And Max Dude took my Knights of the Round theory. That doesn't surprise me. That's not the only thing of mine he took. When I was hardcore beating the Genesis stuff into the ground, he started talking about Genesis, you know. And some people sent me screenshots of them in his chat saying, "You stole that from Ray. You stole it." It's whatever. It's Square Enix's game at the end of the day. I'm not one of these people who's going to timestamp my theory and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's like, what's the meme I told you all about last night? All this theory crafting stuff and everything. It's like, who's right, who's wrong? It's that meme of the guy just like spraying champagne. And he's like throwing the middle fingers out, and he's like on the very bottom rung of this like award ceremony. That's what I feel like being the first one correct about a theory about someone else's game is. I just do it to have fun. I do it to pass the time. I haven't thrown one theory out. I've thrown tons of theories out. So naturally people are going to steal them. It's all fun. It's all fun at the end of the day, and it's a way to pass the time. I do this for you all and me. It's a way to pass the time till the next game comes out. So, yeah, Knights of the Round is going to be nuts, man. And Alexander looks nuts. You know what I mean? But yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you calling that, Chris. that's cool. But yeah, exploration, dungeons. Like, we know what the world map is going to look like, but you all know me. I'm a grinder. The reason I fell in love with JRPGs is the grind. Like, Zelda: A Link to the Past was my favorite game until I found like true JRPG style games, like where you can grind and level. Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3. At the time it was Final Fantasy 3. It's Final Fantasy 6. But grinding and discovering games where you can grind and go places like Lunar 2, Silver Star Story, and Lunar 1. Those games, epitome of 90s JRPG goodness, and those were built to grind. I love the fact that I feel like it's a fact that we're going to get a lot of dungeon crawling in this game too. Optional dungeons to find throughout. I think some of those little indicators on the map, my guess is that some of those are dungeons you have to unlock, or dungeons you can go in and explore, and they're going to have like a certain level indicator. You should be at this level before you go in here. That kind of thing. Please give me that. Please. I'm Leon Belmont on the cover of Lament of Innocence. Please give me that. Please. That's what I want. Side quest I didn't hear that, Little Ray, but that makes me super excited. I didn't hear that, but that makes me super excited. I joked about when I do my playthrough of this game that I'm going to have to give everybody a warning. It's like, okay, I'm going to play the story for 2 hours, we'll experience it together, and then I'm grinding for 6 hours. See you all later tonight. Go get you some dinner, go do something else, come back in 6 hours, and we'll get back to the story. Final Heaven? Yeah, but I don't think you should get Final Heaven until Game 3. I don't want their final limit breaks until Game number 3. There's a lot to do in Game number 3. There's going to be a lot to do in the third part of the story. So, if they're going to give us like some misdirection at the end of this game, whatever it is, whosever theory you like best on that, whatever. I feel like we're going to get a misdirect at the end of the game. I just feel like we have to lose Cloud at the end of this game. Not die. He's not going to die. Fall into the live stream. End it like I've said since I finished Remake and I started doing theory videos. Game number 2 has to be Empire Strikes Back. I said it. I was actually one of the first ones to say it, if not the first. One of my first theory videos, I said, look, let's do Empire Strikes Back, and I further expounded upon that. I said, let's do Reunion Cloud. Let's fight Reunion Cloud. Now, if Sephiroth's goal is to make Cloud stronger, he could easily take the Cloud from Zack's reality. If at the reunion the worlds are going to merge, he could easily take that Cloud for his body. But the problem is, I feel like that Cloud is very beta, whereas our Cloud is very alpha. Like, our Cloud is the Cloud. And I think that will be the point coming out of this. Like, no matter, Sephiroth is trying to defy fate, and we're going to have to experience one of the Clouds dying. It's going to be the Zack Cloud. We're going to have to off him, deal with him, But I think the point of this game is going to be, no matter what you do, there's only one you. There's only one you. And I think that's going to be the message about Cloud. It's like, look, no matter what kind of shenanigans and tomfoolery that Sephiroth tries to pull, whether it's multiple timelines, 2 realities, 5 realities, 1 cyclical time loop, whatever you want to call it, however many Clouds there winds up being, there's only one Cloud. There's only one Cloud Strife. And I think that's going to be the point of all this. Once Cloud puts himself back together mentally and all that, I think that's going to be the point of emphasis. So, yeah, there's a lot to digest. And like I say about your thoughts and your theories, everything's on the table. Everyone's right, and everybody's wrong. Until we're not. Until it comes out. So, you all are awesome. You all are always sending me, theories and thoughts and brainstorming, and some of y'all send me some light novels. So let me slide into Ray's DMs and give him this light novel I wrote. I'll be honest, I skim those. I will have a conversation with people all day. DMs on my Discord is the best place for that. We've got a really great Final Fantasy VII theory discussion area in my Discord. There's a link in the description if y'all want to check that out. That's a great place to drop that stuff because our community really loves talking about those things. Do I think we find out who Cloud's dad is? No. I mean, we could. I just don't think it's important. I really don't think it's important. I love the mystery of Cloud. Like, I love part of him being a mystery. But yeah, I think I don't want to know who Cloud's dad is because I think it's kind of irrelevant, right? I've seen a lot of people say Glenn. I don't think that matches up. But who knows? I mean, who knows? I don't think it's important enough to have to shoehorn it in. And also, as a storyteller, when you're writing a narrative, it's confirmed that Nojima, Nomura, and Kitase wrote the story and are writing the story. Like a draft of the part 3 of the story is written, and they're waiting to confirm it. So those 3 are writing it. Anytime you write, especially if you write with a team, you have to brainstorm. You've only got so much what I call narrative real estate, right? So you have to get to what matters. And especially if you're convoluting things and making things more complicated than necessarily they have to be or whatever, you have to manage how much like narrative real estate you have. And do you want to take away from something that might be more important to spend 30 minutes explaining who Cloud's dad is when it's not necessary? That's my point. That's the kind of things I think about when I'm thinking through story and theories and things. Little Ray, $2. Thank you for the $2, Little Ray. Little me, R-E-Y. It's different than R-A-Y. Your videos and community make the FF7R experience better. Well, that's the goal. That's the goal. Like, I say a lot that I'm not bigger than I am because, Papa don't take no mess. I'm all for debate. I'm all for people disagreeing and having healthy discussions and things about it. But when people get negative, me and my mods tend to get those people out of here. I want it to be a positive experience. More than having 10, 20, 30, 100,000 subscribers, I want to make sure that the whole community has a good time when they're here. It doesn't have to deal with a lot of mess. So thank you. I really appreciate that. We work hard to make sure there's a good community here, accepting of different mindsets and ways of thinking. Because one of my goals when I do these theory videos and discussions and talking about that stuff, it's not to be right. It's to get you all to think outside the box. It's like, okay, what if we present it this way? Or, okay, what they're doing this thing, and some people hate it, some people love it, but let me present it to you like this. That's kind of what I like to do here on the channel, and I appreciate you all showing love for it. So thank you. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Cloud's dad being revealed. I just don't think you have to dedicate time to it. You could insinuate, you could like allude to it and leave it to the audience, because one of the great things about stories like this and all the great stories, some of it is left to the audience to interpret. I don't think they should paint everything out for the audience, right? Like great stories, like I love It. Like I love horror. I love fantasy, I love horror, I love Berserk. There's so much in Berserk that will never be explained. Like in It, the horror movie It, like the origin of It never really explained. Even in the appendices and everything of Stephen King's crazy universe he created with the turtle god and everything, like never explained. Berserk, there's gonna be so much in Berserk that never gets explained, and I think that's good. I think that's good. It challenges the audience, aka the next generation of storytellers, to think outside of the box. So a lot of you all are probably in your mid-teens, early 20s or whatever. You all are the next generation of storytellers, When I think about that when I do conventions, I do book signings, and I'm selling Aurora and we're working on the animated series for Aurora right now. We're doing all this other stuff. I think about that a lot. So when I do shows and people want to talk and talk, I try to give my time as best I can, because you all are the next generation of storytellers, whether it be comics, animation, video games, novels, whatever, TV shows, screenwriters, whatever. So it's good to be challenged. It's good to be taken out of what you think should happen and think about all these different possibilities of things that could happen. That's why I encourage you all to put your theories in the comments. Sometimes I get some crazy ones though, and I have to be like, nah, I gotta disagree with that one. But that's just me being honest as well. So, did you see that Reno had a reduced role due to the Japanese voice actor passing away? Square hasn't No, I didn't read anything about it. I knew the Japanese voice actor passed away, but I didn't know that he's got a reduced role because of that. Lucretia is definitely going to play a role, I feel. I just haven't thought enough about it to think about what yet, especially when Vincent's introduced. And then the whole thing with Hojo, and because here's the thing, she's actually Sephiroth's mom. Like, Sephiroth is, in the beginning, was manipulated by Genova's power, intoxicated by Genova's power. And he comes to the conclusion that the reason he's so set apart from everyone else and he grew up lonely is because he's destined to be so much more powerful. And Genova must be my mother. That's it. That's it. And then he's off on the crazy train. Crazy! That's how it goes. Millions of people might go exposed. Yeah, so Sephiroth's totally on the crazy train, but Lucretia is his mom. I do think that'll play a part. I really do. So, they are, Elias. Yeah, the new movie was good. The first new movie was good. The second one wasn't as good, because I was like, oh, now they're all adults and got like adult problems. Who gives a shit? Like, you want to root for the kids. Like, the adults are all jaded and they got their problems and stuff. I was like, this isn't fun anymore. But yeah, the Deadlights were horrifying in the novel. The novel. That novel. It's like two Bibles put together. If Falna's original job at Shinra as very young Sephiroth's foster mother. Hey, maybe. Maybe. What's up, Luis? Shane, Simon. What is up, my man? I just saw you popping in there. Yeah, I love Reno, but you know what? We got to get that Sung boss fight. You know what? I feel like a poser when I say Sung. I'm going to say Sing. Sing. I feel like a real poser when I'm trying to say Sung in like the cool way everybody says you're supposed to say it now. I'm going to say Sang, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. But Sang. I'm looking forward to the Sing boss fight in Rebirth. I hope we get it. I really hope we do get it. That would be really cool. And wouldn't it be wild if Zack's crew consists of Sisney and Sang? Wouldn't that be kind of wild? Just thinking outside the box. And no, I'm not deep diving into that one. I'm just giving you all that to chew on. Sing. Sang. To sing. The Turk leader to sing. Cloud should not be some Jesus baby. It's best if he's born from no one special. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think the dad is necessary. Yeah. It's good that Cloud is a Johnny Everyman, because, like, you know, just some regular bloke, you know, just some regular dude trying to do his best. It's with Cloud, it's his will. And with all great Final Fantasy, and you know what, in all great, like, anime and comic manga heroes, it's all about the will of that character, the will to strive. Like, Cloud gets skewered by Sephiroth. Sephiroth, who has slain probably 1,000 soldiers, or 1,000 warriors have fallen to Sephiroth or whatever. And Sephiroth guts Cloud. Cloud grabs the sword, picks up Sephiroth into the life stream. The willpower, and I love the fact that Cloud's just a regular dude that did that. He said, you know what? F this. You struck down Tifa. You just busted my buddy Zack, who I'm making friends with. You're a fraud. I got the sword in my gut. Ugh. Yeet. He yeets him into the life stream, and then he collapses in a pool of blood. That's Cloud Strife. That's my ride or die hero. On the Mount Rushmore of big sword users, Cloud is right next to Guts. I think he's probably in between Guts and Ichigo. Or maybe is Zabuza up there? No, Zabuza's not up there. He's not important enough to be up there. Cloud getting the fusion sword from Advent Children would be dope. Would be very cool. Can you imagine souping that thing up and all the different stuff you could do with it? That would be amazing. I would be all in on that. Matter of fact, make it so. Where's my Picard meme? Make it so. That would be fantastic. So, the Fort Condor minigame was great. I loved Fort Condor. That was one of the highlights of Intergrade. But the music was good in Intergrade too. I just now started really listening to the Intergrade soundtrack. It's a really, really cool soundtrack. There's a lot of great music on that soundtrack, especially the Nero stuff. God, what is it? Pain Sensation Max or something like that, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, but yeah, that is a sick one. Yeah, exactly, Rick. Exactly. Like when Sephiroth is like, "What are you?" You know, and Cloud's just like, nuh-uh, Uncle Sephiroth, yeet. My chair descended again. So, there we go. See how long it stays up this time. Tifa and Tekken 8, I could see that. Sephiroth in Mortal Kombat 1, that would be dope. You know, it could be part of the remake storyline too, right? Because Liu Kang is remade like a new universe. Isn't that the story? I need to pick that up. I love Mortal Kombat, but Tekken's my favorite fighting game. Yuffie battle music is great. Was it something Shinobi? I forget what her theme is called exactly. Look, all the different themes for Sid and Vincent are going to be amazing. Amazing. But Sid Highwind's theme is just goated. Goated. Like, when Sid Highwind's theme kicks up and kicks on, man, you just want to like chest out and go save somebody or pull a kitten out of a tree or something. You know, it's like, it inspires. Sid Highwind's music is inspirational. So yeah. Yes, Elias, yes, we'll absolutely see that in Game 3. Like, I think by the end of Game 2, it's going to seem like whatever Sephiroth's up to, he is well on his way to winning, you know? And I think midway through Game 3, we need to see it start falling apart. You'll pay for your penetration this time, Uncle Sephiroth. Woo! That's a few months on the couch with a trained professional that you pay $250 an hour to. I agree with you, Rick. Sid's theme is goated, like I said, and I don't say goated lightly. Like if I say something is goated, it is. You can bet your money it is among the best. Yeah, Sid Highwind's theme is just like amazing. That's the thing about Final Fantasy VII. All the Final Fantasies have great music. All of them do. Nobuo Uematsu, especially the scores that Uematsu handles. Big Dio kiss. Big Dio kiss. You know what I mean? But a Fire of Tau, now a member of the Kaufmanite Legion. Let's go, boy. Let's go, man. That's what I'm talking about. A fellow roadie. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, sir. But yeah, like, all the Final Fantasies have great music. But Final Fantasy VII's music, not just one or two tracks are legendary. Like, there's at least 10 tracks in the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack that are legendary. And a lot of it, too, had to do with Uematsu, who was like, okay, we're going to be on this PlayStation console. I can put my music on a CD. I can make it semi-orchestral. I don't have to use the 16-bit technology anymore. You know, I can actually have musical tracks on a disc. So he really went ham with that. Now, if 6 had been the first game on PlayStation, he probably would have went ham on that one too. And 6 has amazing music. Terra is one of the top 10 Final Fantasy soundtracks of all time. That's why Seven's music. That's why I believe Seven's music is so good, because he really wanted to go all in on that soundtrack, and he did. Boy, he did. Hey Ray, with Zack being alive in Rebirth, do you think we'll see Kunsel in his timeline, or possibly in his original timeline with Cloud and the gang, since he's brought up in Remake? Yeah, possibly. I haven't really thought much about Kunsel, honestly, because there's a lot of characters to think about. Narrative real estate, like I've said before, you know. But yeah, I don't see why not. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into that right now, because I haven't really thought too much about what Zack's reality looks like and what it's going to look like when everything fuses into one reality, right? Because that's definitely where this is going. That is definitely where this is going. One reality. Sephiroth even says it in the trailer. That's what the reunion is going to be this time around. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I think Kunsel will be around in some capacity. He might even be one of the Shinra troops that's sent to hunt the party. So, that would be interesting as a little side story. How do you feel about Sephiroth being playable? Dumping development resource on such a short playable segment makes me curious if they'll let us play him again later in the game. Yeah, I've thought about that. I think there is a scenario where we play as Sephiroth later. Especially if they do some kind of like Wutai War flashback with some other character that was with Sephiroth or whatever. You know, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do that. But yeah, what they did with Sephiroth, I feel like that section of the game right there, the Nibelheim flashback, if it's not a long section right at the beginning of the game, I think we get that flashback in 2 or 3 pieces. Like we tell the beginning of it, right? We tell the beginning of the flashback in Calm, when you're working your way up to the reactor with Sephiroth and Cloud and everything, and then like Shinra attacks Calm. Like I said, what I say, Shinra attacks Calm. That's confirmed. They confirmed that in that gameplay stuff. So he has to stop telling the story. Later on, they get somewhere else. Well, so what happened then? So what happened then, Cloud? Well, let me tell you about it. Let me tell you what happened then. And then let's say when they're on the boat, he tells more of the story, right? And then the alarms start going off on the boat. Sephiroth is spotted. He has to stop telling his story. Maybe he finishes telling it at Costa del Sol or Gold Saucer. You know? But I think, yeah. See, yeah, I think we'll see it maybe in different sections. And maybe the way Sephiroth plays feels different in each section. Or maybe they just tell it all up front. I don't know. I'm just presenting another option. And that would make sense to me if they did it that way. How many characters will be eligible for the Gold Saucer date? All of them. All of them. Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, Red 13. Let's see. Vincent's not in the party yet, and neither is Sid. So yeah. So yeah, all of them. Even Dio. There needs to be a version where Dio is available for a date. Or Rufus Shinra comes strolling in. You have a date with Rufus. But I want the Barrett date. That's always the fun one. And you know what? That was one of the... In Final Fantasy VII on PS4, when I was playing through it on PS4, that was one of the trophies I don't think I ever got because the conditions... I couldn't get the conditions met for some reason each time. No, maybe I finally did. Maybe I finally did. All these people are always shipping characters and stuff. I was like, what about Boofus? You know, Barrett and Rufus. Andrea, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Andrea, what's his last name? I forgot. But yeah, Andrea, Madam M. Madam M will probably be around Gold Saucer in some way. And how cool is it that all the Midgar characters are going to show up throughout the world? All the Midgar characters are going to show up throughout the world. How wild is that? Like the thugs, the do recompense guys. I love that it showed those goons. The goon platoon is alive and well in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah. Where's the rest of Avalanche going to make their appearance? Biggs, Jesse, Wedge. I think maybe with Zack. I mean, that's the easy answer, right? That's the easy answer. But well, here's the other thing too. Like, if we now, with the context we have now, like, who got Biggs back to the orphanage? And Jessie, because her headband is there. Or maybe Jessie didn't get wounded too bad, and maybe Jessie got Biggs back to the orphanage before the plate fell. Right? Maybe Biggs was saved by Jessie, and she got him back there, and she was like, screw it, I'm leaving this life behind, this was too terrible. I'm going to go to Gold Saucer and be in the play. That's a possibility. A date with Roche. Roche will be around. Roche will definitely be around. The Speed Demon will be around for sure. Look, here's the thing. There's a motorcycle game. There's a motorcycle game in Gold Saucer. Who say Roche doesn't come up and, like, with a little game card, is like, hey, me and you, rematch, bitch. It's just the two of you on these VR bikes, like, talking shit to each other. I put that in. Put that in. Who is the bearded man in the black hood? There are several guesses about that. I know I asked Clark, or Schrodinger Baby Seal. I messaged him. I was like, hey, who do you think this is? He said, Glenn. Without hesitation, he was like, it's Glenn Holbrook. I was like, all right, that's a good guess. My two guesses are Dyne or Dyne or Genesis. Dyne or Genesis. I would love for it to be Genesis. And everybody's like, well, Genesis doesn't have a beard. He can grow a beard. He can grow a beard. It's Guy Fawkes. It's Guy Fawkes, man. J4. Salute, Ray. Salute to you, J4. I came across this theory on YouTube. What do you think of the possibility of Sephiroth actions inadvertently changed the outcome of Zack's fate? Basically, Sephiroth did not think... Okay, so... I think Sephiroth destroying the Whispers, I think he knew some shit was going to go sideways, right? But I think it was a desperation ploy for him to just basically grab the wheel of the truck and... Because, like, let's compare Sephiroth to like a prisoner on a prison bus, right? He's like, I'm going to the chair. I'm going to the chair every time. Every time we do this time loop, I die. I lose. So I think Sephiroth was like, fuck it. I'm going to grab the wheel of the bus. I'm going to sling it off the bridge, and whatever happens, happens. Because it can't be worse than what happens to me every time. I think that's what's going on with Sephiroth. I really do. And... Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it at that for now because I'm getting ready to go down a rabbit hole that I can't come back from. Fabergas 115, hey, welcome. Backstage Pass, brother. 2 new members in this stream. I appreciate the hell out of you all. Welcome to the Kaufmanite Legion, or welcome back, I should say. I think you remember before, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't have a gun arm, so I don't think it's Dyne. Well, we don't know what kind of gun arm Dyne might have. He probably doesn't have the howitzer that Barrett has. Matter of fact, he doesn't. His gun was more slim, I think. Did we see the guy in the black robe's hands? Yeah, he thinks it's Glenn from Ever Crisis. Which, it's whatever. I'm like, whatever they want to do, it's their story. But I want to see a character who's been around longer get some shine. I don't want to see a character who's been shoehorned in over the last 6 to 9 months get prominent shine in the story over characters who have existed for 15 to 25 years. Or, yeah, 15 to 25 years. You know, I think that would be a shame. I think that would be a shame. Reset button. Thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate that. Thank you for the balloons. Thank you for the balloons. But yeah, that's kind of my take on that. Real Groundhog Day vibes, kinda. Yeah. Well, I think what's going on with Sephiroth, you know, and I've thrown this in the hat before, but I know a lot of you all are new around here, so for the past 3 years, I've been of a mind that Sephiroth gets consciousness from the negative life stream, right? He gets information and stuff. He has learned since he's been trapped in the northern crater during this time loop. He's gotten information and stuff, and he's learned to understand what's going on, what's happening, all this other kind of stuff. What's happened to him before, previously. Every time this happens, boom, 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 boom. Same thing every time. So I think this is him grabbing the wheel of the prison bus and slinging it off the bridge in an act of desperation. He knows he doesn't know exactly everything that's going to happen, but it's kind of like, that's kind of like something the Joker would do in Batman. Like, he would blow his foot off to get the leg up on Batman. So that's kind of what's happening with Sephiroth right now. He's not, I don't think he's all knowing yet. I think he's trying to become this omnipotent god, obviously. And he comes close at the end of Final Fantasy VII, but not quite. He's incomplete. So I think that's kind of where they're steering it. So I have a theory that Sephiroth can't change the events of the OG, but others who are still alive can. Maybe he wants Zack to be alive. Yeah, so originally my thought was the planet or Sephiroth used the Whispers to kind of go back and save Zack. Like, that's why they were interfering with the soldiers. But a lot of people have come out and said, well, no, it shows the Whispers because them dying and being destroyed is why Zack was able to win. My only pushback against that is that he has won by the time the Whispers are destroyed. He's already won. So that's why I think the Whispers are interfering with the soldiers to let Zack survive. That's why I think it's going on. And it did happen in the past of that world, but it created an offshoot. It didn't change the reality we're in yet. It created like another lane, basically, of the same reality. That's why things are similar and some things aren't. Probably in the Zack reality, you know? So, but it's all eventually going to find its way back together. So that's where I'm at with it now. But, so y'all can take that however you want. The ending scenario, would you rather Sephiroth still kill Aerith, or would you like to see Cloud kill her? Like when Cloud is mind controlled, he doesn't snap out of it and kills Aerith. So Aerith's death, I'm actually keen on the idea of them moving it to another place. Like when we don't expect it. Because to be honest, like just from a gamer perspective, I don't want to go all the way through game number 3 without my best white mage. That's kind of how I feel about that. I don't mind if they do the same thing with Aerith again. I don't think Cloud's going to kill her. Here's the thing. Whoever kills Aerith will not come back from it. Just narratively. If you're on the hero's journey and you kill Aerith, you cannot get back on the hero's journey. I don't care if he's mind controlled or what, because that also degrades Cloud's willpower. His iron will. It really degrades that. Now I know he's got some damage and stuff going on, but him killing Aerith, or him killing Tifa, or him killing anybody in the party, that's a road you don't come back from. And they need to be very careful with that. Could the hooded guy be someone from before Crisis? See, no, I don't want the hooded guy. I don't want an important character in the story to be someone from before Crisis, or a game that like 5% of the Final Fantasy VII community played. And I don't say that to knock it. Again, I'm just like, I think there are other characters who you can give that to and it makes more sense. You don't want to tell a story where the whole time a character's inclusion, or like let's say it's a before Crisis character in that hood or whatever, you don't want to tell a story where you do something like that. Oh, thank you Fabergas, by the way, for the $1. I appreciate that. Shout out. You don't want to do that and have the audience be like, well, this doesn't make sense as the story's going on. It's like, well, okay, who's this? Okay, that doesn't make sense. Okay, why are they doing... It takes you out of the story. Now, if they put a character in there and they don't say who it is till like the end of the game, and again, if it's like a Genesis, or if it's like a Dyne, or somebody like that, makes sense, because that character has been around with the fan base, win, lose, or draw, for years and years, whether you love it or hate it. And some of these other characters that people may not be privy to yet, to introduce them in a pivotal role in the narrative, could be sabotaging the story a little bit. That's the only reason I look at it that way. Yeah, reset button. I'm not down with Cloud killing anybody in the party. Reunion Cloud going nuts and going brick shithouse on everybody in the party in a boss fight, I'm totally down with that, because it makes sense and it could work and it could be badass. It could be badass. If you all ever saw my Reunion Cloud Theory video from a couple years ago, or whenever it was, just like the Cloud theme, which is the overworld theme, that's Cloud's theme, you know, like sped up to like a 120 tempo or something, like a crunchy guitar and like double kick pedal, like a choir orchestra in the background and working in the theme of those chosen by the planet with it, you know, like just I think of the music. I just think of the music and I'm like, oh my god. This could be the most amazing ending game battle sequence of all time. So yeah, I'm like all in on that. And plus, that guy in the black robe is obviously not like a reunion guy because his robe's a little more fresh. His robe's a little more fresh. Doesn't show his back. You don't see his back, so you don't see if it's got the thing on there. But his robes aren't tattered and nasty like the other guys. And he's got color in his face. He's got... You can tell he's got his mind intact. Whoever that is. They can make it whoever they want. I just want it to be good. Right? So, if they make it like Glenn Holbrook, or if they make it a Before Crisis character, or if they do something like that, they have a little extra writing to do to make it make sense. Just make it good. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? 7 seconds to decide. That's right. That's right. 7 seconds till the end. And everybody's still... I still have not tried to venture a guess on that. I just don't feel like I've got enough data. I don't even have enough like imaginary data to cast a line out there, you know? What's up, Michelle Velez? Fabergas with another $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps. It all helps. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you very much. Also, if you all would throw a like on the video, let other people know we're live. And we are discussing some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth goodness. Robe guy, Zangan. Nah, I don't think he's big. I think Zangan's bigger. I think Zangan's like a little bit of a bigger guy. And plus Zangan had like a collar and like some other, like a cloak. He had like a cloak. They could change it up, but I don't think that's Zangan. I think Zangan's a little bit bigger. At least I hope he is. I want Zangan to be a brick shit house, man. Not like Dio, not like pro wrestler like Dio, but I still want him to look like, make you think twice about going up and calling that guy a bad name or something. You know, I was like, I'm not going to mess with this guy. I got some things to say, and I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm going to swallow my pride, and I'm going to keep walking. That's what Zangan needs to be. Yeah, and there's a little bit more going on with the design as well. The reason I got excited instantly was like, oh my god, I think that's Genesis, was because I did that Genesis video a few years ago, and I said if I did Genesis and Rebirth, what I would like to see them do with him is make him like Auron. Make him like Auron from Final Fantasy X. Like, he's awakened from his self-imposed slumber. He's got some knowledge from the life stream. He's communed with the planet. And he's a little bit harder, a little more gruff. He's not like quoting poetry every time you see him or some bullshit, you know? Like, he's a little more gruff, a little harder, and he's observing the party. He's watching the party. Like, that was my hope. And when they showed that guy in the trailer, I was like, that's exactly what he's doing. I was like, oh my god. Like, that's exactly what I said I wanted if they do that character. That's why I got excited. I was hoping it was him. But it could be anybody, as long as you make it good, as long as it's good. Just, I've said numerous times, just take me on a ride. Just take me on a ride, Square Enix. Take your boy on a ride. That's all I want. That's all I want. This is the send-off. This is the swan song for the greatest thing that company ever made. And they know it. And you can see the care put into it by that stuff they released. Like, that footage, the English and the Japanese playthrough, that footage was absolutely incredible. And you can tell how much love they're putting into it. I can't wait to confirm dungeons. Alright, Wolf Tales. I'll now dream of Junon again. Dream of the Grasslands. Dream of the Grasslands. And Chadley coming up, tugging on your shirt, like, hey, can you go over to that tower there and hook that up so I can become more of a god? Chadley god confirmed by the end of Rebirth, or by the end of the third game. You're slowly turning Chadley into an unbeatable god. Free Flow, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. You're giving Chadley all this knowledge on your fighting techniques and different fighting prowess, and you're mapping out the world completely for the cyborg. And I did the video where I said Sephiroth is basically Agent Smith. It's all turning into the Matrix. Chadley's going to be the architect, and Sephiroth is going to be the virus in the program. He's going to be the Agent Smith. It's the architect trying to fix everything and guiding Cloud and the party along the way. That's what it is. Birth of a God is actually about Chadley. Yes. Yes. Y'all gonna have that one for free. Parallel Dimension Rufus in the Cloak. That would be cool. That would be a really cool idea. Except, I don't think his facial hair would be that dark. He would have really light facial hair. Because he's fair. He's fair-haired. Like, he's very blonde. Like, he's not like dirty blonde like Glenn Holbrook. So I could see that with Glenn, that color right there. Like, I couldn't see that with Rufus. He's like blonde. He's like Super Saiyan blonde, like Cloud. Starting level is 20? Are we sure about that? I don't think starting level is 20. Because recommended level for one of the areas at the bottom of the map was level 18. And we saw some gameplay where they were like level 16 and level 17. So I don't think starting level is 20. Unless you've heard something. I mean, it's possible, but... We've never seen Zack with facial hair. And that's something else. I see where you're going with that. That would be cool. Square Enix is running a masterful misdirection campaign with all this stuff right now. Masterful misdirection campaign. Like, they're putting quotes in there that might be at the very beginning of the game or might be at the very end of the game. Like, people are coming out saying, he said this at that part of the trailer, it confirms it. No, I can take audio and put it over anything I want. It doesn't mean it's from that spot. They know what they're doing, and I love watching it. I love watching it. People are going absolutely nuts with the speculation. Immune to Rug Burn just subscribed. I don't want to ask what experiments you've done, but I thank you for subscribing to the channel. After all my data has been processed, I have surmised that I am immune to rug burn. I have ran as fast as I could and landed on my knees on the carpet. I have done dirty things on said carpet, and I cannot be burned by the rug. Salute. And thank you for being here. The group is dead in Zack's timeline. Cloud's in it. Yeah, that's what we've said, Retro Lad. Like, that part to me is obvious. That, you know, Zack's Cloud is Reunion Cloud, and everybody else in the party is dead. Yeah, exactly. They gaslighting us. Exactly, yeah. The Nomura is the personification of Sephiroth. That's exactly what's going on. Andrew Helms with the $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Do you think the hooded man could be Hollander? That's good. That's good. Somebody remind me, what happens to Hollander at the end of Crisis Core? He doesn't just get away, right? Or does he just get away? Well, see, Steven, that's what I hope. I hope it's somebody we haven't met. I hope it's somebody that we have not met. But Hollander's a big dude, too. Like, Hollander looked like at Midgar College, he may have played linebacker. Like, when he was getting through college, you know, becoming a scientist, he may have played a little linebacker. Hollander's a big dude, man. Somali. I pictured you saying that just now. That leak that said Rebirth would have smaller zones than 16, then they were fucking lying. Bro, they were fucking lying about that shit. Yeah, I pictured you saying that just now. Fabergas with the $5 super chat. Appreciate the love. Thank you, man. In FF7 Rebirth, we will move fast. Gonna be it to do, but the story will progress quickly. Yeah, I think they're going to let you progress the story as you wish. That's what I think. And that's great, because I think we can get some really good side story stuff. I think we can get some really great, like, character expose type stuff, like good chatter, side quests that mean something. If you're not discovering something about a character, you're discovering something about the world. That would be fantastic. And proto relics. I meant to say this earlier. Somebody asked me, who was it? Shout out to whoever asked me. I think it was in a DM or a YouTube comment or something, or on Twitter. I can't remember. Somebody asked me what I theorize proto relics are. I hope that proto relics are like in Assassin's Creed, and they're borrowing more than one thing from Assassin's Creed in this game, you all. It's pretty obvious to me. I hope that proto relics are something you find that give you a look into what happened between the Cetra and Jenova. I hope that once you get all the proto relics, you can finally get the story of what happened between Jenova and the Cetra. Now I'm doing that little storybook kind of thing about my take on it, but it would be wonderful to get like an official thing on it. Fabergas, knocking them out of the park with the $10 super chat. When do we get Yuffie? I think the trailer may have already answered that. I think it'd be under Junon. I think you'll get Yuffie under Junon. Yeah, I think you'll get Yuffie after you fight that serpent under Junon. And I think she might actually help you get upstairs. Possibly, right? Because that gameplay footage showed them saving her at the end of that fight. So, or no, at the beginning of the fight. Yeah, because her boat gets smashed and they fight through the boss fight. We could get Jenova flashbacks like we did with the Shinra Blade. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Hunshu, that's why I thought that. Like, when I saw proto relics on the map, on the English thing, that somebody posted earlier, I was like, don't go there yet, don't go there yet, don't go there yet, don't go there yet. But yeah, I hope it's something like that. Ben Johnson, exactly. That's what they were called. Thank you. The Pieces of Eden. Yeah, the proto relics. My early shot in the dark is that the proto relics are like the Pieces of Eden from Assassin's Creed. Thank you for reminding me what those were called. And then you get a little bit of the picture as you get them or whatever. And then when you get them all, you collect all the proto relics. You get the full picture. That would be amazing. Will they do that? I don't know. Probably not. But that would be amazing. Are Western devs working on this game too? I wouldn't be surprised if there's some Western developers working with Square Enix. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know for sure. It would take someone who knows more about the business, like someone like Nine or somebody could probably answer that question better than I could. But it wouldn't surprise me. Want to know what games influenced Rebirth? I'll tell you right now. I see Horizon. I see Assassin's Creed. I see the Elder Scrolls. Big time. The Elder Scrolls, you better believe. Like all the history written into that landscape, that is absolutely Elder Scrolls. Assassin's Creed with the exploration, some of the combat stuff, even some of the menu stuff. Horizon, obviously they've come out and said Horizon was one of their big influences for the game. So that's 3 for you right there. Also, a little bit of Metal Gear in there. A little bit of Metal Gear in there when you're chasing the Chocobo. Where you look for the Chocobo. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look, I'll tell you what. I teared up. I went and saw Video Games Live. I don't know, this is probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I went and saw Video Games Live, and I got to meet Tommy Tallarico, which was super cool. Fabregas, the $5 super chat. Can I be a voice actor on your animated series? Send me your demo reel, man. Hey, seriously, if you're wanting to break into voice acting, we're producing Aurora, the animated pilot, right now. I'm doing a couple of other things. DM me your demo. Let me hear what you got. But I was at Video Games Live, and Tommy Tallarico came out, and he introduced Hideo Kojima on the screen. Of course, it was a pre-recorded thing. And he said, without further extension, here is the music of Metal Gear Solid. The way they rap the Metal Gear Solid suite, it slows down the theme. It's like do 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 do, and it's like wow, and it's doing all this kind of crazy stuff. And then the military drums kick up the snare, and it shows like all the great fights from Metal Gear, right? It shows like the dodges and the slow. They slow it down. It's like slow motion, like the knife fights and Psycho Mantis, and then it ends with Big Boss saluting in Arlington, and then it goes off. I teared up. I was like, well, I'm tearing up a little bit now thinking about it. That was amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all real quick. What's going on with my story? We're getting ready to start pitching. We're getting ready to start pitching to a bunch of different, a few different networks and stuff that are interested in talking, and we're going to be talking. So I'm director producer on the project. I've paid every bit of production out of my own pocket, except for $4,000 we crowdfunded, which was cool. So, but yeah, so we're rocking and rolling on that. Chocobo Racing plays out like Mario Kart. It looks like it's going to. It definitely looks like it's going to. What's up, Scott Dove? Hey, I'm putting out content all the time now, so you can set your watches. What they've shown so far, what's your favorite change to the combat? Mine is they gave all characters a parry. Synergy. I mean, the synergy moves are just amazing. That is really the thing to work your gauge up for and really go hard on. I love the synergy. Never mind. But synergy, absolutely. And I can't wait to see what they do with these combo materials. The combo materials are going to do more than just give you fire and ice at the same time, I think. I think you're going to be able to mix that stuff up and do some crazy stuff. Okay, yeah. The awareness ring around Cloud during the hunts is straight up Metal Gear Solid. Yes, exactly. Need an old smoker's voice? Oh yeah, I'm always looking for a good smoker's voice. Well, there you go, Wyatt. That's when you come in, is when I'm serenading. Okay, I'll serenade the chat. That's when you gotta. That's why you gotta stumble into the room. I think Final Fantasy IX Remake's real. I do. I just think they're really going all out with it, like they're going all out with this. So it's. I think it's going to be. Final Fantasy fans are going to be eating well for the next couple of years. If Cloud piecing together could have memories from Advent Children, nah, he won't have memories from Advent Children because it hasn't happened yet. So I don't think it's going to be super like off the rails like that. I think it'll be his childhood, his failure in Soldier, just being a grunt, meeting back up with Tifa, maybe even something from way back when he was really small. I mean, it could be a number of things. And that's something else. The whole part where Cloud is in his psyche, and probably in Game 3, when he's putting himself back together, I think we're going to have some different branches there. I think we're going to have some different things, some different trauma we got to go through. That's going to be exciting. No, I don't think they confirmed the Whispers are returning. I think that's supposed to be footage from before the Whispers were destroyed. That's just my guess. There were a couple of quick shots in there that weren't in Remake, but I think that's going to be from before they were destroyed. Volcanic lightning, hell yeah. Go into some real Sith territory. Oh, the fusion sword? Yeah, that would be cool. We were talking about that earlier. that would be a lot to dive into. I'll be playing Star Ocean 2. I've been debating on whether or not to get back on Twitch right now or not, because I'm just now kind of building my YouTube audience back up. I kind of wanted to get close to 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers on YouTube before I go try to build another channel again. Because my Twitch is pretty much just dead. But I might. I don't know. I'm trying to keep all my stuff on YouTube right now. But I do want to get back to doing Twitch. I just don't want to spread myself thin like I did before. And just really just burn out. Because that's what happened. I'm super burned out. And plus I was working on 2 or 3 other projects at the same time. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to play Star Ocean 2 when it drops. But I'm not sure if it's going to be on YouTube or Twitch. So... Same here, Andrew. I want to see. That is the most important scene in Final Fantasy VII. Of everything, of anything that happens in the pantheon of the Final Fantasy VII universe. Cloud's reconstruction in the live stream is the most important scene of all of it. It's also the most touching. It's also the most touching scene. I've got my own reasons for I've got personal reasons for loving that scene. And maybe I'll share with you all sometime. But I've got very, very personal reasons for that. For loving that scene like I do. And yeah, that was super important. Super important. How would I feel if they brought in Advent Children characters? Indifferent. Honestly. Indifferent. Advent Children... to me, kind of felt like fan service anyway, which is fine. It was more Final Fantasy VII after, what, 8 years of having finished that game. And people wanting a remake, and people wanting a sequel, and all this other kind of stuff. It was fine for what it was. But are you talking about Kadaj, Yazoo, and Laws? Because they were in Remake. In the Singularity. Like, constructs of them were in the Singularity. Yeah, that's kind of what I was gunning for, Somali. Star Ocean 2 is one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. One of the greatest of all time. Any idea what happened to Cloud's father when we see him Rebirth? Yeah, we talked about this earlier. I don't think it's super important who Cloud's dad is. If they want to address it, they can. But trying to see. Oh, Andrew, when they're in the singularity, to answer your question real quick, the three whisper entities that you fight, one's got the gun, one's got the sword, and one like attacks you. That's Kadaj, Yazu, and Laws. Just reconfigured as constructs. If you read their enemy bio, it alludes to who each one are. And don't ask me to remember that. I cannot remember the whisper version of their names. I can't remember that. Viverdy, Bibbidi, I don't know. Bibbidi, Bobbidi, Boo. I don't know. I can't remember. Where was that? But yeah, Star Ocean 2, one of the greatest JRPGs of all time. Retro Lad, to answer you. No idea what happened to Cloud's father. He went into the mountains one day and just never returned, right? So I think that's the only thing we've ever gotten on Cloud's father. He went either on a journey or he went into the mountains in Nibelheim and never returned. So he's either eaten by a monster or he was thrown into one of those Shinra monster maker vats and came out a monster anyway. So, but I think it's important to remember that Cloud is kind of holy, kind of set apart. He's his willpower makes him who he is. And somebody said in the chat earlier, I don't want Jesus Cloud. I don't either. I don't want him to be holy. I want him to be a Johnny Everyman who just has an iron will and the dedication to succeed. That's kind of what he is, you know. He thinks he's a bigger deal than he is because of the experimentation and stuff done to him. But it's his will to survive. It's his will to overcome that gets him through. And actually, Advent Children has a great scene that shows this. Like when he's going after Bahamut and the party is behind him, like cheering him on and everything. And it's his determination that gets him through that. And it's his determination that gets him to where he needs to be against Sephiroth's rebirth in Advent Children. East Blue Drew, thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, bro. I feel like you've been around these parts before. The name looks familiar, so. Cloud never had a father? Nah, Cloud had a father for sure. I hope the Diane and Barrett thing spreads into Game 3. I hope all the characters, their side character arcs, move into Game 3. Like everything is resolved in Game 3. That's what I hope for. Yeah, absolutely. I think Infallen Cells could be in Cloud. I don't think that necessarily makes him special, though. I think that makes him able to commune with the planet. I think that makes him able to, and if anything, it's a detriment because he has Genova cells within him too. It creates like an internal battle between the Cetra DNA and the Genova DNA. So, doesn't help him. It doesn't help him. But the Cetra DNA helps him, you know, when he needs it. But I think it would be more of a detriment than a help. But I think that would be interesting if they went that route. I think Zax Cloud's dead. I think he's dead meat. I think he is being offered up. Kunsel and Cisne. Maybe a side content. Because here's the thing. Like, Cisne is still alive. in the world of Final Fantasy. She didn't die in Crisis Core. She's still around. Zack is the only one that died. He bit the bullet. But Cicely's still around. She's still a Turk. She's still out there doing stuff, you know? So I definitely think she's going to pop up as some kind of quest giver or a side quest or a big important side quest story. A big side quest story. I can see her being a part of that. Well, I think Angela's gone. I don't think anything is going to change that, because by the time Zack is saved, Angela's been dead for some time. Genesis is around. Genesis was a big player in the story. Shonen Jump Boy, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that, man. Genesis is, I know people hate him. I know why people hate him. I get it. But you can't deny the fact that he is a major player in the biggest game they made for Final Fantasy VII outside of Final Fantasy VII, which was Crisis Core. That was the biggest game they did that was not Final Fantasy VII. He was the main villain of that game. So there's no way they don't use him. Even at the end of Dirge of Cerberus, he has that extra cutscene at the end of Dirge of Cerberus. And he's got the other wing. He's coming in some capacity. He is coming. Yeah, that's a good idea, Peach Booty. Cicely and Gagaga would make sense. They said you should download and replay Remake to start making. Weren't they talking about the combo pack they're selling? They were trying to sell you the combo pack, man. They were trying to sell everybody the combo pack. If they have not played Remake. Like, I think that was what they were gunning at. Gonna get more Leslie in Rebirth? Yeah, we'll get something with Leslie. I mean, we'll get something with everybody. Like, we know Andrea's in Gold Saucer. Madam M is around somewhere. We're gonna run into Leslie on the road. There's gonna be all different kinds of stuff. Even the Goon Platoon. The Goon Platoon is in there, the Due Recompense guys. So no, the hooded guy's not Leslie. No way, no. Oh, phew. All right. Well, I'm gonna take a quick break, everybody. And then I'll be right back, okay? So feel free to talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in just a moment. Just trying out different things. So I'm glad you all brought up Yuffie. I'm reading some of the comments. I think there's a possibility that the Yuffie we play in Intergrade. Wait. No, there's not. Never mind. Never mind. I was going to say there's a possibility the Yuffie we play as in Intergrade is... Wait a minute. No. The Yuffie we play as in Intergrade is not the Zack realm Yuffie. Because Cloud is with Avalanche in that scene in Sector 7. Okay, never mind. Scrap that. Scrap that. Scrap that. Yeah, we'll get deep ground. We'll get some deep ground stuff. It'll probably be Game 3, but we'll get some deep ground. See, Game 3 will be where the shit hits the fan. And Shinra doesn't want to let deep ground out. Because they know they're a bunch of loose cannons. They can't be controlled. Like Vice, Nero, can't be controlled. And their lesser lackeys as well. Can't be controlled. So, when everything hits the fan in game number 3 and Shinra really has no choice, they'll release the deep ground soldiers. That's when that's going to happen. Part 3 is going to be crazy. What I think they'll do with Biggs. I think he'll be palling around. Or maybe not palling around, but I think he'll be traveling around with Zack. Because don't forget, like, Zack is there in Sector 5, rooting around looking for Aerith. And he's going to figure out that Aerith is dead. Like, Biggs is recovering and waking up just a block from Aerith's house. So I think Biggs will bump in to Zack most likely. And I can't wait to see what kind of role Vincent plays in everything as well. That's going to be exciting for me. Yeah, absolutely. I think game number 3 is going to be a situation where we can go visit. Everything will be unlocked. Like everything, Wu-Tai, everything will be unlocked. That'll be interesting. What's up, Sean? How you doing? You the man. Do you think it's possible that the end game of Part 3 comes back to the Omega Weapon and Sephiroth using it? That's possible. That's possible. Meteor is still more powerful. The Black Materia is still more powerful than Omega Weapon. How much bigger or longer will Game 3 be than 2 in your opinion? I think it's going to be longer. I do. And here's the reason why. I think Square Enix will give us a lot to do in Game 3 because this is it, right? That'll be it. That'll be the end of Final Fantasy VII. I think they'll want to give fans a lot to do. To spend as much time in Gaia with those characters and stuff as long as they can. There's also... think about everything there is to do after the Forgotten Capital, though. I mean, you still got to go back to the Forgotten Capital with Bugenhagen. You got to do all the submarine stuff. You don't get the submarine until after the Forgotten Capital. You get the High Wind after the Forgotten Capital and all the places you can go with that. You've got to go back to Mideel. You got to go back to Midgar. And no telling what else you're going to have to do. And then you've got the Northern Crater. Think about how massive the Northern Crater is going to be in the third game. It's going to be... The Northern Crater might be a game in itself. I mean, so there's going to be a lot. You mentioned Game 3 and everybody just starts putting theirs out there. Nothing's going to top Refund. Nothing's gonna top Refund with me. I mean, my God, that was hilarious. Final Fantasy VII Reboot. Reboot. There's a lot of stuff out there. Like, there's a lot of reference material and stuff like that out there. There's a lot of, I don't want to say misdirection, but Square Enix is more prone to throw you off the scent than put you on it. That's how they operate, and that's not a bad thing. They want to keep you guessing. They are storytellers, and they want you to be excited when you come to a point in the story. They don't want anybody figuring it out. That's why, what did I tell you all as well when we finished Remake? I was like, I bet they're gonna like structure the game's narrative based on fan reaction. They came out and basically almost confirmed that's what they're doing. You know, that's why the ending was so ambiguous. That's why this next ending will be super ambiguous, so they can take it in whatever direction they want. So, yeah, Square Enix is more about throwing people off the scent than putting them on it. So any kind of hints they drop, I always just assume it's misdirection. Until I see it. And I'm like, okay, that is what they were doing. Okay, yeah, that they totally weren't doing that. They do that all the time. Vitaly, I'm glad you said that. I was watching that trailer again today while I was working on some stuff, and I was like, that kind of looks like Bizarro Sephiroth. That was kind of what my brain was thinking, and I didn't even think to bring that up until I just saw you type that. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a possibility. Yes, Ben Johnson. Marlene at the end, because when she looks at the flower and says Daddy, that's confirming Barrett's death in that realm. So, because it's the yellow flower, right? It's the yellow flower. He's returned to the planet. That's why she turns around and says Daddy. So yeah, that's Marlene in Zach's realm, Zach's reality. Dragon Quest 12 at the Switch 2 event? I don't think so. I think Nintendo's going to want to stick to their own first party stuff, their internal stuff. Could be Phantom Meyer. Yeah, Biggs is going to be there for sure. Yeah. Biggsy boy. Charlie Sheen from Hot Shots is going to be there. But yeah, like when they put out that second trailer for Rebirth and showed the party dead at the beginning, and everybody was like, they're not dead, Ray. Shinra captured them. And I was like, no, they're dead. They are dead. When you see the arm fall off the gurney like that, that's a storytelling way of saying these people are dead. And it made total sense for me immediately. That's why when we did the breakdown, I was like, Marlene is like, she's feeling Barrett return to the planet there. Like, that's what's going on. I could see Remake being on Switch too, for sure. Wedge, I think Wedge is dead across the board. I think Wedge is dead across the board. He orphaned those cats in every reality. Well, part 3, you just make a lot of stuff to do. You get a lot of resolution. Like part 3, there's going to be areas you can't go to in part 2. But in part 3, you can go. I am of a mind, and until I see it disproven, I'm going to just think it's happening. They have mapped out. They have crafted the entire world of Gaia. They have mapped out the ocean floor. They have mapped out every lake. They have mapped out every mountain. Probably the insides of everything. I mean, they have went all in on making this game, making this world. Game 3, we'll get the submarine. We'll get the high wind. I mean, we'll be able to go explore the ocean floor. Everything that's there. Can you imagine all the crazy hunts will go into the ocean? All the sunken Shinra ships, all the sunken old vessels, all the old ruins and stuff. The dungeon diving we'll be able to do with the submarine. I mean, it's going to be insane. What's up, Tyler? How you doing? Oh, for sure. Yeah, Hojo's going to tear those bodies apart and have them Aerith labeled in formaldehyde jars on the shelves. Unless Zack busts up in there and tries to save her or something. Wu-Tai's going to be massive. I think Rebirth is still Unreal 4. I think it's still made in Unreal 4. But it wouldn't... I hope it was done in 5, because the way you can allocate and move and realign assets in Unreal 5 is crazy. I really hope it's Unreal 5, but my gut tells me it's Unreal 4. Why does it need to be M rated? Why does it need to be rated M? Well, M rated, yeah, I think I'm not arguing that it shouldn't be. I'm just like, I think I would like an M rating just so I can hear Sid drop F-bombs, and I need Sid to talk like Sid. I need Sid to talk like Sid. I want that to be M rated. Okay, I'm with you now. I'm with you now. Unreal 4 optimized. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah. Confirmed. Unreal 4. Well, alright, everybody. I think that's going to be call it for me for the night. Midnight. Time for me to get to bed. I got an early morning tomorrow, as they all are. And Sid better be smoking. Sid better be smoking. That's all I got to say. Well, I'm going to hop off here, y'all. Have a great night. Appreciate you all coming out. We were holding steady at 100 viewers again tonight. I didn't get to Star Ocean 2. Eventually, I'm going to play the Star Ocean 2 demo. Eventually, I'm going to play it. But we were just having such a good conversation. Couldn't get to it. I might just spring on Wednesday night and just start playing Star Ocean. And we can talk as I'm playing it. But anyway. Thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you everybody subscribed, super chatted, became a channel member, all that kind of good stuff. You guys are rock stars and I appreciate it. On that note, y'all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking. Don't let me catch you not rocking. For real, I'll come over there. I'll come over there. Alright, y'all have a great night. I'll catch you later. Look for more content this week and be good to each other. Catch you later.